everyone, this is Amanda at Amanda's Booktopia. If you're new here, welcome, and if not, welcome back. And today is the start of a special vlog where Ray picks out my books for the week and we see if they end up being 5 stars. I'm hoping. We will see how it goes. So Ray's in my room right now picking out a book for me to read, and he's going to bring it out here to me because it's going to be a complete surprise. And then and so that way all of you guys can see my live reactions, and I will be, whatever the book is, I will be reading, unless it's a third in the series, because I have some books that are number 2 and 3 in the series. So if he ends up picking a third, I'll probably have to go back and pick up the second, because I can't read the third without reading the second. So whenever Ray is ready, he will come out and deliver the book.
Here we go.
Here he comes. And my eyes are closed.
For you, the book I chose for you, open up your hand. Here you go.
Oh, okay. So I was very behind the times on this series, but now we got Beautiful Creatures by Kami Garcia and Margaret Stohl. And this was published way back in like 2009. And I have never read the series. So I am so behind on reading this series. Very much so. So, Ray picked this book for me to read. So, I will be reading and giving you my reactions along the way. Hey guys, so quick update for you. I have started Beautiful Creatures, and I am now on page 119 since I started filming this morning. So, I'm definitely interested in how the story is going. There's definitely a mystery in this book, for sure. And some fantastical elements, obviously, since I really don't know anything about this series, so don't spoil it by telling me anything in the comments, but this is a very interesting story so far. From what I've read, it's about this guy named Ethan, and this new girl comes to his hometown of Gatlin. She's like the freaky new girl that nobody wants around because she's like the niece of this guy named Macon Ravenwood. I think that's the right name. And so he's very much a hermit and a recluse and stays in his house all the time. And she's his niece, and so everybody thinks she's weird and freaky-ish, and something happens with Ethan and the new girl named Lena. I think that's how it's pronounced, Lena. Pretty sure. And they find this locket, and they have visions from the locket, and they have really vivid, real dreams with they each dream of each other, and then they wake up and it's like actually real to them, to the both of them. So it's very interesting so far. I'm interested to see what happens with this locket, because they keep getting visions from this locket, and they're very interesting visions. So like we get some history along the way, because you know there's a little bit of the Civil War in here with the history, and how Ethan's family, well, we know one of the characters is definitely from Ethan's family, from one of the visions that he's been having with the locket. And there's this girl named Genevieve who's also in these visions from the locket. They haven't quite figured out who she is yet. And so I'm very interested to see what happens with these visions and where it's going. And who is this new girl, Lena? I don't know much about Lena yet, but I'm definitely interested to see like what else she's a part of, because she disappears after one of the visions. And so I'm wondering if there's some fantastical elements with her family. There could be. I don't know yet, because I've not read that far into it. I am on page 119, so I still have a ways to go. All this still. But I am a fast reader, so I'm hoping I can finish this today. I don't have that many plans today. The only thing I have tonight is Bunko. So in my community, they're having like this big Bunko night. And so I'm very much excited to participate in that. And Ray will be going with me, so that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for that. And I'm going to keep reading and find out what's going on with this locket, because I really want to know. And more about Lena, hopefully. New update for you. It is now Tuesday morning of the 17th. Yesterday, I did get some more reading done on Beautiful Creatures. I also went to Bunko. I did win a prize of Promise Bucks. And Promise Bucks for us is like, it's kind of like dollars that we could use at the different enterprises that my community supports. So we could use them as dollars, basically. And so I won a couple of those, which I thought was really cool. Then I came back, did some more reading on this book, and I am really enjoying it so far. In my head, it's kind of like similar to Twilight. It has Twilight vibes. However, it's not exactly quite the same, because Twilight has vampires. This does not have vampires. It has different types of magical people. And I don't want to give it all away, because that will spoil it. But I personally think it's better than Twilight in lots of ways. Mostly because this is in Ethan, the guy's perspective, instead of in the girl's perspective, which we don't get very often in these YA magical type series. Usually it's in the girl's perspective. So I'm really enjoying it in a guy's perspective for a change. And I think it's really, really good so far. Currently on page 221. I'm going to get some more reading done today and then hopefully give another update later on. I don't think I have any real plans today. My only plan possibly, we might take the bus over to Target, maybe get Starbucks possibly, depending on what time Ray gets off of work. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Other than that, my only little plan is to read and hopefully get some more done in Beautiful Creatures. The only new development is between Ethan's grandma and with Lena's uncle. The two of them have a little rendezvous in the swamp. And that was an interesting development. It is now almost 11 o'clock at night, I think, on Tuesday. I'm pretty sure. So I just finished Beautiful Creatures. And I gotta tell you, this was a great book. I devoured it in like 2 days. It was so, so good. I don't know if I want to rate it 4 or 4.5. But it definitely got my attention because the last page of this book, the way that it ends, makes you think something more is going to happen. And there's like more books in the series regardless. So there's like 3 more books in this main series, and then there's a spin-off series. And so I want to read the main series before I even try the spin-off. But this was so good. I absolutely loved Ethan and Lena. The two of them together are just hashtag goals. The two of them are just so cute together. And like the way we find out about Lena and her story and why she and Ethan are supposedly supposed to be bound together. It was definitely sad near the end. It was so good, and I'm definitely interested to see where the story goes from here. Probably won't be reading the second one this month because I have lots of books that I would like to get to in October. However, I'm definitely going to be continuing the series. I'm hoping possibly November because I'm thinking about mood reading in November and not doing a set TBR, so it's a possibility I could try and go for the rest of the series because I am in love with these characters. Lena and Ethan, they're just great. I love the two of them. And the supporting cast of characters, definitely interesting. I don't like some of the motivations from a couple of the characters, and that's the only reason why I'm probably gonna be rating this like maybe a 4-star book, maybe because of that aspect. But the rest of the story, I highly recommend if you haven't checked out the series. Like, I mean, you have to start with this one anyways. It's the first one. And it's definitely a great story, much better than Twilight, because it's very similar to Twilight in a lot of ways. The only difference is the plot, and that there are no vampires in this one. So, but other than that, it's very similar. But I love the fact that it's in Ethan's perspective instead of Lena, because usually in most books like this, it's usually in the girl's perspective. But it was really fun reading from a boy's perspective for a change. And that's one of the reasons why I really enjoyed it. Just the characters were great. I absolutely loved most of the characters, at least. And the plot is fascinating. So if you have not tried Beautiful Creatures, I definitely recommend trying to pick it up for yourself. And so this isn't exactly a 5-star, but definitely really loved it. So it'll probably be like 4.5. Maybe we'll give it a 4.5. Yeah, we'll go with 4.5. So not yet a 5-star. So everybody has to try and pick another book that hopefully will be a 5-star.
Just stick with 4 stars, not 4.5. Alright, you ready?
I'm ready.
Here comes your book.
Alright, my eyes are closed.
Alright, so your book is going to be, hold out your paws or your hand,
They're
take
out.
your pick. Your book is right here.
And we are reading Clown in a Cornfield. Great! I needed to read this month anyways, because this is the Thrills and Chills book that I need to read for October. So perfect. Hopefully this will be a 5-star. This vlog is going to go on for at least a week. So I'm really hoping this will be a 5-star book. I mean, normally I don't like killer clowns. I'm more like the fun clown kind of person. But I will give it a shot and we will see where it goes. So the first one was not a 5-star exactly. Maybe this one will be. I started Clown in a Cornfield last night. It is now Wednesday at around noon. Thought I'd tell you about what I'm thinking about this one so far. I am currently about to start chapter 10, page 141. And a couple of deaths have already happened. It's okay. It's a good story so far. Very creepy in some aspects and very interesting. I feel like the new girl aspect for Quinn, I feel like that cliche has been done like a million times. And I kind of wish we had a different way of starting it instead of having the new girl move into a small town where things go haywire. I just feel like that trope has been kind of overdone. I mean, it's not bad, the story, by any means. I just feel like it's been used way too many times, and I wish we had a new start to a story instead of always being the new girl comes to town, you know? But it's a decent story. There's definitely some creep factor with this clown, for sure. And not knowing who this clown really is. And so things have been happening. There's been some hijinks. That's for sure. And I don't know if I'm gonna love it. I mean, there is some creepy aspects, so that gives it a plus. But I haven't gone far into it. I stopped at like 1 in the morning because I got tired last night. So I am going off to work in the mailroom very soon. So I won't be able to continue this right now. However, when I get back up here later, I will definitely be reading the rest of this book because I don't really have much left. I have that much left to go. And I don't know if I'll be going out at all today. Depends. Dana said she might be going to Barnes & Noble, possibly. So she said if I want to tag along, I might. Don't have any money to spend, but hey, any time to spend at a bookstore with my bestie Dana, I am all for it. Even though I can't buy books, I still hang out because I love looking at the books and, you know, hanging out and stuff. So we might be doing that today, possibly. She said she'd let me know. And then I'm hoping after that, depending on if we go or not, I definitely want to finish this book because I want to see what happens with this creepy clown. It is now 10:48 p.m. on a Wednesday. I finished this while watching The Masked Singer, Clown in the Cornfield, and I'm obsessed with Masked Singer. It's one of my favorite shows. So I mostly read this during like commercials because I didn't want to miss the clue packages. And now it's later at night because after Masked Singer, I had to watch Snake Oil. I am now really into Snake Oil with David Spade lately. And then I watched an episode of Name That Tune from last night that I did not get to watch yet. And then I realized, oh, I need to do an update. So here I am, doing an update. A lot went on in this book. Let's put it that way. The first half was decent. There was a couple of deaths, a few actually. And then it was definitely creepy with the killer clowns, for sure. And then after finishing it, I'm like, really? That's what happened? You're kidding me, right? I did not like the direction this book took at all. Apparently, there wasn't just one clown, there were many clowns. And when I found out who the clowns actually were, I was not happy at all. I did not like the direction this book took, who the clowns ended up actually being, and the reason why they were doing it in the first place. They were killing all the kids. Seriously, all the kids. Except for like a few of them made it out alive. And I did not like their reasoning whatsoever. And it was all because of an accident that happened in the prologue. Like, it was an accident. Nobody killed her. I'm like, what the hell? I was not happy with that direction. And because of that is the reason why I ended up giving it 3 stars. So no, not even close to a 5-star. Not even close to a 4-star. Honestly, I don't know what the heck this author was even thinking, putting that plot twist in there with who the clowns ended up being. And if you like killer clowns and you like weird stuff, then you might like this book. However, this was not my cup of tea. So I probably will not be reading this ever again. And I know this is the second book, and I'm never going to be reading that one either, unfortunately. The first half was okay. And then it just went downhill from there. So this was just not the right book for me. And many, many reasons for that, as I said. So we are going to leave this book at a 3-star and see what Ray can come up with next.
Alright, here we go. I got the book already picked out.
Alright, and my eyes are closed.
Great. Alright, I think you're gonna like this book.
Is this a big one?
Hold out your paw or your hand.
Hands up.
And here you are. You can open your eyes.
Oh, great! This is perfect. You want to know why?
Oh, no.
Stealing Infinity by Alison Noel.
Oh, great. I gotta read
My own book club book. Great. I needed to read this anyways. So, I am very much excited to read it because we're going to be having a live show on this very book on my own channel. I have not yet set a date and time. I probably need to do that. So I'm really glad Ray picked this one out because I need to read this anyways. So this is perfect. And this is about, they're at this academy and there's time travel involved. It's a school for time travelers, actually, and they call it Tripping. So this should be interesting. I'm excited to see how this book goes. I'm really hoping this will be a 5-star because I need a 5-star after that ridiculous 3-star. So hopefully I will really enjoy this book because there's a second book after this one. I'm hoping if I love this, I'll go ahead and grab the second one. The second one's called Ruling Destiny. This was Stealing Infinity. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on this either tonight or tomorrow. Tomorrow I don't really have that many plans. The only thing I have planned tomorrow is dinner with some friends. And, oh yeah, and there's bingo again at 7. So bingo is one of my favorite activities. So I'm definitely going to that. So that's my only plans for tomorrow. So today is Friday. I unfortunately did not do any updates yesterday on Thursday because I was spending most of the day reading. And then I went to bingo, won twice, which was awesome, by the way. And then I had dinner with Ray's roommate and his caregiver, and so that was fun. We had pizza, and I had my dairy-free, gluten-free pizza, which was very good, by the way. I didn't realize until recently that Walmart sells gluten-free, dairy-free pizza. It's Daiya, D-A-I-Y-A. So if you have any gluten or dairy issues, it's actually very, very good. You cannot tell a difference. So I did do some reading in Stealing Infinity, and I am definitely enjoying it so far. Currently on page 194, about to start chapter 58. These chapters are actually very short, so they go by pretty quickly. Sometimes a chapter is like 2 pages. I am definitely enjoying my time with this book so far. It gives you some, like the prologue itself gives you some interesting tidbits and a little bit of background. Not that much background, but we find, like, it's pretty, like, it starts off with action in the prologue. And then we go back a ways. I'm not sure if it's go back or forward. I'm not really sure. But after the prologue, we start finding out who, like, what this world is all about, so to speak. So we have, what's her name again? I've been reading this book. How can I not remember her name? What is her name? I should know this by now. Oh yeah, Natasha. Duh. Yeah, her name is Natasha. Is the girl's name. Who's so we get some background on her and what led up to her being taken to this Grey Wolf Academy. And then we find out that this academy is for time traveling. And supposedly for her, she has no idea what the school is about until somebody tells her. Because they're very secretive and mysterious, and they don't want her to know stuff. But I am definitely interested in knowing more about this academy and some of the people in it, because some of the people in this academy are very, very weird and very, very strange. And I'm not sure what I'm thinking about them just yet. But I really like Natasha because all her reactions are very natural and instinctive, and the way she goes about things. She's very smart, very street smart. She knows what she's doing. And I definitely like her for sure, because all her reactions is what the same reactions I would have if any of these scenarios happen, like so to speak. And some of these things that happen to her are very strange. And she doesn't just accept things at face value when someone tells her something. She actually goes and investigates it first, which is what most teenagers would do. Instead of, like, because in some books, they just take things at face value and they'll just go with it. But it's not realistic, in my opinion. So that's why I like Natasha, because she's very realistic and she'll do everything necessary to find out what's actually going on. So that's why I really like her. And then, now that she's at this academy, I'm curious to know what her purpose is in this academy and why she's actually there. I assume her family was a part of this as well, because her dad has told her things as a kid, like about the art, like, what are those cards called? Tarot cards. And so she has some experience with tarot cards. So I'm very interested to see where the story goes, what's gonna go on in this academy, and what else is, that they're up to, and find out everything that there is to know about this academy. So I am actually going to be heading out shortly. I'm going to go grab some lunch. I'm taking the bus up to this little shopping center, like just around the corner from here. And then there's a lot of restaurants, so I'm going to go grab some lunch. And Ray wants me to grab him a burger and fries, so I'll probably go stop over at Burger King on my way back. And I will keep y'all in the loop. Hey guys, so it's been a long time since I last gave you an update. Last time was last week. I think it was like Thursday or Friday, one of those days. And over the weekend, I did not feel like reading. I was really not feeling it and just kind of let it go to the wayside a little bit. And then we're creeping closer to the end of October, and I needed to finish my book club book, which was Stealing Infinity by Alison Noel. Last time I gave you an update, I told you I think I was at around the halfway point. I think it's been a while. I don't remember sure exactly, but I did finish it yesterday. Yesterday was Tuesday. Today's now Wednesday, so yes, it's been a while since I've done an update. But I did finish it. It was a very interesting story with the time travel and the different characters. I've read Alison Noel before with her Ever series, and honestly, I think her Ever series is better than this book. Probably because I was a teenager when I read that series, and I was more invested in that one. This one is not that I'm not invested in Stealing Infinity. It read extremely YA to me. Well, technically it is a YA book, so of course that would make sense, right? But there were aspects that I felt could have been done a little bit better. Some of the pacing I think could have been better. Chapters were very, very short chapters. Like there was like 2 pages to a chapter, and I felt like it could have been like laid out a little bit better. But I did enjoy the plot though, and what it came to. I am interested in reading the second book in the series, and that's Ruling Destiny. So I am interested to see what happens from here. I don't know how I want to get the second book yet. I don't know if I wanted to buy it or if I just find another way to get it. Maybe get an audiobook. Possibly. We will see. I do want to know what happens, so at some point I will get to that. However, I'm not invested in having to read it right now because it was a good book, just not my absolute favorite. So it didn't turn out to be a 5-star, unfortunately. Turned out to be more of a 4-star. And then after I finished that book yesterday, I did not get a chance to let you guys see the next book that Ray picked for me. And he knew I needed to read this because otherwise I'm on a book by a man for November, and I do not want that. So I got Exodus by Kate Stewart. There were some issues in the beginning of the book with the way I felt towards certain characters. This is the second book in the Ravenhood trilogy, for those that do not know, and we're following Cecilia Horner. She is the daughter of a CEO, and she has a very estranged relationship with her father, who's the CEO. And, well, because of her issues with her father, she gets into these relationships with these other guys from the Ravenhood, which is like kind of like a gang of some kind. And well, I think I like the first book better than this one. The first book, I gave 5 stars. I absolutely loved it, loved the spice, loved most of the characters. Dominic is probably my favorite from all the characters that I've read so far from the series. This one continues to follow Cecilia and what in the aftermath that comes after the first book. And then, so this is definitely not a standalone. You have to read the first one because it continues off of that. And then there comes Tobias. And to be honest, I did not like Tobias for lots of reasons. One, he's extremely rude and does not treat women very well at all. And they jump into a relationship way too quickly for me. I mean, I know she kind of did a little bit with Sean and Dominic in the first one, but that relationship was a little bit different in some ways because, but this is more hate to love with Tobias, and he's like her sworn enemy, and I feel like they just jumped into things way too quickly for my taste. And what happened with Dominic in this book made me really, really sad because I love Dominic so much. He's my favorite, and I was so sad as to what happened to him. And, well, I had a hard time connecting with most of the characters. Dominic was the only one I truly cared for. The rest of them, not so much. And the way Tobias was with Cecilia, just no. It was just too much for me, I think. I think it came on way too strong in the way he reacted towards her when she knows absolutely nothing about things and she's completely in the dark. And he just isolates her even more, and it's terrible, some of the things that Tobias does to her. Like, I don't understand. I would not be in a relationship with somebody who would do some of these things to me. And I don't understand why anybody would, to be honest. And I know a lot of people really, really love this series. And this was decent. I mean, I was thinking I was going to give it a 3.5 at first, but the ending, or close, like the last little bit, helped me jump it to a 4-star because of how it all wraps up in the end. I know there's a third book, and from my understanding, we're following the backstory of Tobias in the third one. I don't know much about that one, but I'm gonna find out because I want to read it next, and maybe I'll like him a little bit more after reading the third one. I'm hoping maybe it's just because I'm not reading from his perspective in this one, I'm reading Cecilia's perspective. And the way I see things from her perspective is, she should have, it's difficult from reading from her perspective because she made me feel things towards Tobias in a way I did not like. I did not like his motivations. I did not like the way he treated her and I know people love Tobias, but me, not as much. However, I am interested to see what his perspective would be like in the finish line. Maybe I'll understand him a little bit better in that one, and maybe I'll change my mind. I'm hoping I will, because I just, for the better part of this book, I could not stand him. Now I'm like, Cecilia, what is wrong with you? Stop going back to somebody who treats you that way. And, I mean, I just did not understand. And then, I mean, I understand, some reasons as to why she felt like she had to go back to him because of what happened before. Because it's like a time lapse in this book where it goes, 6 years into the future after a certain part. I mean, it's just Tobias rubbed me the wrong way in so many ways. It's not even funny. But I do want to see what the finish line holds. Maybe it will redeem him in some ways. In my eyes, I'm really hoping so. But at least...
Does that mean you're going to read Finish Line next?
And Ray's in the background thinking I should read the finish line next. And so, yes, I am going to read it next because I want to see him redeemed in my eyes. I just did not like him in this book.
I think you just don't want a book buying ban.
Well, that too. I do not want a book buying ban in November. Because if I do not finish a finish line in this month, I have to go to book buying ban. And I desperately do not want to do that. So, I am going to be jumping to the finish line next. Because I want to know where it goes from here. Maybe hearing things from Tobias's perspective, maybe I'll feel differently. I don't know. So this was not quite a 5-star, unfortunately. It ended up being 4 stars, but that's still a pretty decent rating in my eyes. The last little bit of the book was better than the majority of the book. And I just wish we had more Dominic. I'm so sad about what happens to him in this book. That was the worst part of the book for me, like what happens to him. And I was devastated. Seriously. So I really want to get One Last Rainy Day, because that is told from his perspective from the first two books, Flock and this one, Exodus, before what happens to him. So I do want to get One Last Rainy Day and read from his perspective, because I'm sure I'm going to love that the most, probably out of all the books. So I'm going to have to get that book at some point. But the finish line is coming up next. I'm going to finish up this vlog here because it's been long enough and I need to post this for you guys. So I will be putting this up hopefully by the weekend, if not sooner. Thank you so much for joining me on this reading journey to see if Ray can help me pick out a 5-star. Unfortunately, it did not work out that way. Maybe the next time we do this, we will have another 5-star. I am definitely hoping. So we will see how that goes next time around. So thank you so much for watching this vlog and taking this reading journey with me. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you want to see more bookish content, make sure you smash that subscribe button down below. And I'll see you all next time.